really liked
Epstein
Budweiser.
commercial.
They did an Epstein commercial?
Yes, the victims
These are
put
the
together.
Epstein victims.
Ooh.
Wait, they did a Super Bowl Epstein commercial?
Yeah. These
Is
are the
this the
victims.
one
is
that
going
Elon
after-
Musk
oh,
said I
yeah.
would pay
Oh,
for?
yeah.
They did
Let's
an
see this
Epstein
one.
commercial in the Super Bowl?
Yes, this is what the left wants. It's
Wow,
basically
Rob,
targeting.
I haven't seen this, so go ahead.
It better not be to the tune of Rock Your Body.
After years of being kept apart, we're standing together.
Standing together.
Because this girl deserves the truth.
Because she deserves the truth.
Because we all deserve the truth.
Damn.
And who paid for it? Was it Soros?
They
and all those?
call out Pam
Yeah,
Bondi
yeah.
specifically
And mind you,
by name?
Rob, if you can find out who
Where does the
funded
QR
that.
code go to, Rob? Where does the QR code go to?
Let me take a look.
Yeah, I'm curious of
Let's
who
see real
funded
quick
this.
Where this thing goes to.
Keep that there, Rob.
And so, Pat, while you guys are
It goes
doing
to
that,
World Without Exploitation.
Matt Walsh tweeted or responded to this because Jim Acosta pointed it, and he said, for those claiming that they can't name names because they'll be sued, they could simply give the names to any of their many and mostly very recent advocates in Congress who could read the names out loud from the floor, insulating themselves and these women from litigation, but they refuse to do so. Why? And then Elon Musk tweeted on top of it and said, I will pay for the defense of anyone who speaks the truth about this and is sued for doing so. So Elon is stepping up. And I just, but by the time, while Pat's looking it up, it was kind of, isn't it weird? Like, all these files have been released. The 3 million, okay. None of the names of these victims have been released. Why is it that all the names of all the emails of the men who were involved are redacted? Can somebody explain that to me? I don't want any young females' names. I hope, litigation and everything happens for them and justice is done. How are we ever going to get justice if the government is blacking out every pedophile, underage, pervert, whatever his name? Can you explain that to me?
This isn't about two people. This is about hundreds of people. And hundreds of
Maybe
people
thousands.
making thousands of calls trying to keep this out. That's what's going on. Everybody that's involved, that knows they're involved, is screaming from the rooftops quietly through their lawyer, trying to get things redacted, get it held back. All of these 100 people are in a big circle.
Yep.
And they're all lifting up a gun, pointing it to the head of the person next to them.
Yep.
Everybody in the circle dies as soon as the first person takes a shot. And that's exactly what's going on here. And so it's not a mystery to me. The people that are in the files don't want them to release, and there's a lot of people putting a lot of pressure from a lot of directions. It's horrifying. It's horrifying. And these are victims coming out later saying, I was exploited. I was there. I'm in the files. My picture is showing up in the files. All of this, and we want justice, and we want something to happen. And this is where we are. But this is why Americans, I go back to the same three things that I look at in terms of polling. Americans overwhelmingly feel there are two systems of justice. Americans overwhelmingly feel that when this comes out at this level, nothing will happen. And Americans overwhelmingly have a sub 20% approval rating of Congress and a sub 15% approval rating of mainstream media.
Yes.
That tells you all you would know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Everybody who doesn't have power, 300 million of them, 330 million of them, wants the 30,000 or so, if you add up the lawyers, everybody, to do something.
Yeah.
And it's not going to happen. And that's why people are upset.
Oh, Tom, unredacted. What? You're not showing the guys that were involved their emails?
Mm-hmm.
Good. That's what we want to see. Why are you hiding that? I don't want to see any girls' names. Who was the dude that was saying, I want a little kid and I want to do this? And, who? Epstein, I saw another one, Pat. He's buying 33 gallons of sulfuric acid. What is that for? Who is that person? And you know what bothers me, Tom? If they don't unredact them, who's to say? Because, by the way, I used to drink, right? I'm done. I'm finished with it, Pat. Sometimes I see people drinking. I'm like, yeah, man, I remember those times. There's no AA for pedophiles and people that are sick like that. So if you think they've stopped doing it, you're crazy. There's not another Epstein Island, Pat, but they're somewhere doing that again. That sickness doesn't stop. So for them, for the government to black out the names, why are you doing that? You're protecting them? I want to see these people. We deserve it. 3 million. Congratulations. Good for it. I think that ad is a little bit messed up because why did the Democrats care about these 3 million files the past 4 years?
Who funded that? Who funded that ad?
If I had to guess, I saw something with either Open Society, allegedly, I think George Soros and somebody else paid for that commercial, if I'm not mistaken, Rob. But that's what I'm saying. You think those guys stopped sleeping with underage girls? Are you crazy? Who is
it, Rob?
It says, while the direct funding details for the ad are not publicly itemized, similar prior campaigns were financially supported by LinkedIn co-founder Reid Hoffman.
Weird.
Hoffman publicly acknowledged his role in funding the earlier ad to push the Epstein file transparency. Really? And even Elon's gone after Hoffman, right?
Yeah,
about
big time.
his link to Epstein. So Elon is saying he will fund and finance the Rob, what did Thomas Massie say? Because Thomas Massie said, if they don't drop the names, I will, right? Didn't he say something like that?
Right here.
Okay, go for it.
Ready to do that if the victims want me to. They believe that the best way to get justice is to force the DOJ to release these names. I've already read one name in a committee with the FBI director there. That's Jess Staley. And again, he may or may not be guilty, but he's been accused by these victims, the lawyer tells me. And there are other names. I don't have them in my possession, but if the victims want to give them to me, I've expressed that I'm willing to do that. But again, the best way is to force the DOJ to release those names on those 302 forms.
Wow. Got it. So he's pushing them to release, or else I'm going to release. So, Rob, what do we know about the names that haven't been leaked, the contacts, and the additional 3 million files? What do we know about that, Rob?
So apparently Congress is getting the 3 million redacted files that were released last week unredacted. But when they go in, they're not allowed to have any devices with them. They're allowed to take notes on anything they see in those files, but they're not allowed to take photographs.
So not public to us, just
not
public to them
us.
to see.
And then the other 3 million remaining files are never going to see the light of day.
Never?
That's according to the Department of Justice. They are not releasing those other 3
Did they
million
explain
files.
why or no?
No. Not that I'm aware of. I don't know if you guys have seen anything else, but that's the latest that I read.
Can you check to see if there's an argument of why they didn't want to release the additional 3 million files? When it comes down to the Epstein files, why would they not want to release the additional 3 million? Look, Thomas Massie's pushing the envelope to find out what's going on. Good for him. A lot of people want to know, and I think he's creating the pressure. Again, this goes back to this was the biggest fumble of the Trump administration, and the responsibility keeps going back to Bondi. The responsibility keeps going back to Bondi. That name keeps. You can say whatever you want, even as a conservative, and say no, but it's not this, but it's not that. This could have been handled in a very different way. Okay, when we had Jared here, and he says this was one of the campaign promises. No, it wasn't.
Oh, Jared Musk.
Yeah, it was never his promise. It was
true.
a Cash Patel promise.
Yeah.
It was Pam Bondi promise,
Bondi.
but it was never a Trump promise. So that was fumbled with the team, where they were not on the same page on the way it was done. What does it say, Rob, on why the additional is not being released?
Victim privacy and safety, illegal content, legal privileges and exemptions, and then ongoing investigations.
Got it. Adam.
Well, here's what's really going on here. Did you see this news of who's willing to speak now? Bill Clinton. Did you see this story?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we talked about last week when Hillary Clinton said, yeah, let's do it. Let's not do it anything in private. Let's go. Now you got Bill Clinton, who, if there's any name that has been more seen with Epstein than anybody, it's Bill Clinton. He says the following: I have called for the full release of the Epstein files. I have provided a sworn statement of what I know. And just this week, I've agreed to appear in person before the committee, but it's still not enough for Republicans and the House Oversight Committee. He also said this, if we want to do this, if they really want answers, let's stop playing the games and do this the right way in a public hearing where American people can see for themselves what it's really about. Enough with this kangaroo court. When Bill Clinton answers the call and says, yeah, I'll meet you after school at 3 o'clock, you better take him up on his word here, because this is what America wants to see. Isn't this what you want to see?
Yeah, but
If you want some must-see TV, if you want accountability, Bill, Hillary, Gates, this person, that person, get them in a room, ask them the questions. Because you know who's the one person you're not going to be able to ask questions? Epstein. Despite what Candace Owens thinks that he's alive in Tel Aviv somewhere, he's probably dead, guys. Can we agree on that?
Probably.
I'm sorry you missed Hillary at the Benghazi hearings.
Yeah.
What do you mean, Tom?
Go back and look at Hillary at the open hearing that was filmed. Look what's going to happen.
Nothing.
Look at
By
how
the
she
way,
handled
by the
that.
way, I didn't miss that. Of course, I saw that 20 years ago, but that's different from this. Nobody cared about Benghazi. They made Benghazi a big issue. Everybody cares about Epstein.
Wait, hold on. You don't. Well,
so
you can't,
those two things are not the same.
Well, you can't say Benghazi wasn't an issue because she.
What's a bigger issue, Epstein or Benghazi?
No, hold on.
Just say one word.
Hold on, Adam. Give me one.
Okay,
Let me
can you
explain
just answer
myself.
that?
Talking about
Hold on,
congressional
Adam, when it
hearings.
comes to
That's
bigger
what it was
issues,
about.
Okay.
She gave
now
up on.
Benghazi's bigger than Epstein.
Oh my
Got
God,
it.
here we go.
Got it.
Adam, she
Oh,
let
he
soldiers
reframes
die.
it. You're such
she
a
let
punk.
American
So what's
soldiers
such
die.
a punk.
What's a bigger issue?
Adam,
You're such a
Why can't you
bigger
just say
issues
one word?
as a soldier, as a military
Okay,
soldier.
so I just found out
Do
that
you know? Hold
Benghazi's
on. Do you
bigger than
know what
Epstein.
she? Hold on,
Got it.
Adam. I'm saying I could deal with issues separately. What she did at Benghazi, she ignored all the calls from Chris Stevens. All right, he got freaking killed and he was begging for help, but she was emailing Sidney Blumenthal about Libya and all that stuff.
Testify
And they
or
had
not?
all that. And what
on,
happened
just
at the
running
hearing?
in
Nothing
circles.
happened. Hold on, Adam. Let me finish what you're
Just
saying.
running in
you
circles.
think
They just volunteered to testify.
Adam, I'll wait for you to finish.
Take the
'Cause
win.
You're talking nonsense.
They didn't volunteer to
Didn't
testify. They
volunteer
said
them
they'd
to
show
see-
up at a
Adam,
hearing.
tell me when you want me to
testify or
talk.
not?
Tell me when you want me to talk.
Never.
Okay. Guess what? Bill
Obviously,
Clinton,
you're such a
and Hillary.
bully.
Billy- Oh,
You
God.
can't have a debate.
Tom,
You're
the
such
two-
a
and
bully.
The
People
two
wonder
of you
why
are
I
arguing
scream.
with me. Who's the bully? The
Matt.
one guy or the two
And then
guys?
people
Oh, come
strong
on.
guy?
But
No, man.
let them make their
When
points
people
because I want to
say,
see
why
the
does Vinny,
point.
guys, why is Vinny screaming? And just let me finish my point. You think Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton saying, we'll do it out in the open. You think they're being serious? Just like Reid Hoffman paying for a commercial for the survivors going, we want to say something. They all know they'll never come out because that means everybody has to come out. There has to be discovery for everybody. Bill Clinton is never going to talk. He's never going to go out in the open and talk. They're going to put him in a room, Adam, because none of them get in trouble. And this is why God did what he did in the Old Testament, because of heathens and demons like this, Adam. This is it. This is flooding, destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. This is the flooding of the world because evil was in charge, okay? I could separate what Hillary did sitting like this in Congress, and she said, what difference does it make that United States soldiers died because she was crappy at her job? I could differentiate that and Bill Clinton, who's the most prolific guy on all the visits, all the White House, all the emails, all the videos we saw with him, with all these girls.
Jacuzzi, yeah.
Sure.
And what are we talking about? So you can't say, Bill Clinton saying, let's do it on the open. He knows they'll never do it because he's the guy. He's the culprit. Okay, you're never going to find out about John Podesta and his brother and all the
Oh, you're going to
Pizzagate
hear
that
names,
was
though.
nuts.
You'll hear names.
Oh, yeah, you're going to hear names.
You'll
Can I
hear
ask
the
you the
subject
question now
change.
since I listened?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not going to yell to make my point.
No, well, I have to yell because you kept
Wow, there's
talking
a
over me.
first.
Do you want to see Bill or Hillary testify? Yes or no?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Are you going to see them in public? Never. Adam, they're going to
Yeah,
put them in a
but-
basement and they're all,
Bro,
Adam,
I
they're all
asked
in
for
it
a
together.
yes or no question.
Are they going
Okay.
to testify where? In public?
Do you want to see them publicly testify?
Yes,
or no?
yes.
Then we're on the same
Well,
page,
Adam, but will
guy.
it happen? I'm being realistic.
I'm not going down the path of will it happen. Let them agree upon it first, and then let's see what happens.
But let me ask you a question then. Do you think, Adam, here's my question.
Let's
What's
see
the
them
percentage?
testify.
Let me say this. What's the percentage, honestly, that Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton are going to sit in an open forum, like how she did at Benghazi, and they're going to say this. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. What? Oh, yeah. Bill flew to the island. Was he with an underage girl? Maybe. I plead the fifth. What's the percentage of them doing it in front of a camera?
Of course they're going to deflect, but like
No, they're gonna
you
do it.
can't have your cake and eat it too,
That's not the
guy.
question I asked.
Do you want them to testify or no?
Yes, and then you didn't answer
And then
my
let's
question.
leave it there.
Answer my
And then
no.
let Congress
No.
ask them the tough questions.
Oh, yeah, I trust Congress, Adam.
Then he's not coming in and asking, "Hey, Bill, are you a demon or not?" Do you want them to testify or not?
Okay.
I think we
answer
all
yours,
Clintons are
answer
agree-
mine.
if the Clintons
Yes,
are
I
agreeing
want
to
them
be there, there's
Perfect.
something
Then
wrong.
We're on the same page.
But let me answer my question. What's the percentage in your mind that they're actually going to go in front of a camera and do it? Give me your percentage.
well, let's get to the
You're
point.
not answering answer the question. Or is it going to happen? Because I'll tell you right now, it's zero.
Okay, so don't
Zero.
Even, so don't even
You're
invite
lying
them.
to yourself. You're lying to yourself.
We're both agreeing that we want to see him testify, but
Yeah,
you're going on a
there's a
ridiculous
lot-
diatribe
there's a lot
on why
been-
they shouldn't testify.
There's a
Pick
lot
a side,
that's
guy.
been said. I will tell you, when Benghazi happened, That was a massive deal at the time.
Of course,
Adam.
but
that
it's
was
not
a
Epstein.
massive. By the way, it's not Epstein. You're right. But even a few months ago, 6 months ago, whatever the timeline was, you're the same person that said, I could care less about Epstein. This is not on the priority list. This is not this. This is not that. I want to be policy.
Thank you.
It's still not in my top
I
three
understand.
things.
But for you to say Epstein is bigger than Benghazi, Benghazi was massive when it happened because we lost our guys.
Yep.
And then when she made that one comment after 8 or 9 hours,
Guys.
and she said, what difference does it make? We all saw that.
Rob, please
that.
run a poll and ask our audience what they care about more.
Oh, it's Epstein.
or
Oh, he ran it
Benghazi?
already. He already ran it. It's Epstein.
Oh, so
obviously.
Of course it's Epstein.
What were the results?
3,000 people have voted. 65% Clinton's Epstein testimony,
course.
35%
Okay, so what are we
Benghazi.
talking about, Vinny?
No.
Like,
we
What do you mean, what am I talking
We
about?
agree. But at the time,
Yeah.
you have to realize, if you flip it, say Epstein was 10 years ago, Benghazi is today. What's more important? People are typically going to
Yes.
vote for whatever's current today
course.
instead of what was 10 years ago.
Ask them
But
what's bigger, Epstein or COVID. Let's see what they
that's
say about
exactly
that.
the point. It's going to go to
Yeah,
whatever's
because
more
I would
important.
hope that it's COVID.
It is. No, it's not. It's going to
No,
be
it's going to be
what's
Epstein because
present.
it's hot right now.
It's hot right now. It's what they're going to choose. Anyways, okay. So we'll see what's going to happen here. Look, I like the fact that Massie's pushing. Okay, and this whole thing with what's his name? Epstein being alive or not being alive, and the pictures that are going around with him.
Yeah.
What percentage do you say that he is alive?
Walking around in public?
What percentage do you say he's alive?
The closest number to zero possible.
Okay, where do you put it?
0.00001%.
Honestly,
Yeah.
because they took 30 seconds out, and when they never showed his photo of his body, they always showed a crazy
What do
angle.
you say?
I say
Percentage.
20%. He's
Tom,
probably
where
still
you at?
walking around. 20. 20%.
In
Show me
public
the
like
30
this?
seconds. That's not hit. That's an AI.
I
photo.
think there's less than 5% chance he's still walking around.
Well,
Okay, so that's
I mean,
kind of
that
where
would
you
be.
are.
Where
They
you
said
at,
the same thing. By the way, they said the same thing about Ken Lay. Ken Lay went to Colorado, died, and he was Bush's friend. He was cremated in Colorado, and then he disappeared. And is he really walking around in Belize? The conspiracies
let me
come
tell
out.
you- let
he's
me tell
here.
you a couple
It
things.
started with Elvis. Elvis is
Let
still
me tell you a
alive.
couple. The statistic when I'm looking at this on what's happening with PBD Podcast, more ladies are starting to watch PBD Podcast, and it keeps climbing, okay? And, of course, we all know why that is. We have Vinny on the show, and we have Tom on the show, and we do have Adam on the show, okay?
Not so much.
But the ladies are starting to watch the podcast more and more. A lot of mothers and families and ladies who are getting on here. So, fellas or ladies, Rob, if you can go a little bit lower for Valentine's Day, if you want to get a Stefano Ricci collaboration tie with Valuetainment, these are limited numbered. We have them there, but also if you go a little bit lower for the ladies, the pink hats are here. By the way, these pink hats are pink Future Looks Bright hat. Rob, can you please click on it? Especially with Valentine's Day being around the corner. Go there. Okay, Future Looks Bright, pink hats. What on the bottom, if you keep going, it's a beautiful hat, by the way. Every time you see somebody wearing this, it pops. If you, ladies, you say you watch it, if you want to represent the Future Looks Bright hat, so when you're walking in the mall, you're at the gym, you're at work, you put this on, other people say, wait a minute, me too. I watched that show as well. I'm also a Valuetainer. Click on the link below. Get yourself one of these pink hats or some of the red gear that we have, especially with Valentine's Day being around the corner. It's the most expensive day of the year for me because it's my wife's birthday that day. My wife's born on Valentine's Day, and it's Valentine's Day. But we got a soccer tournament this weekend for us instead of Valentine's Day. So we got some stuff that we got to do because there's a soccer tournament. Anyways, go to vtmerch.com.
If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.